plus trying to care about everyone cheapens the care for the ones you deem worthy of your care. Yeah, I wrote a chapter in my book called Managing Your F's. I see it as a limited resource. I mean, you only have so much energy in the day to, to dispense for things that matter. So why would you dispense it on things that don't matter or don't have an ROI or don't improve your life or don't, connect you with better people and all that sort of stuff? It's like people are constantly trying to steal your attention and your time with their bullshit, with, manufactured indignation in the media about some fucking disease that kills almost nobody, or something that's happening in a part of the world that, it's going to have no bearing on you whatsoever. Right.
Right.
Yeah, they're always trying to suck you into these narratives, but it's like, actually that kind of brings me to the idea of perimeters, because I think in one of your books you talk about drawing a perimeter, and defining us versus them, and I do that with different levels of perimeters. Like I might have a perimeter, amongst the 5 people that are closest to me, like my family, the people that I love, my kid, sort of thing. Then you've got your friends, and you've got your community, then you've got sort of thing. And it's like a concentric set of rings that, kind of go out in a tree. And the further the rings out, the fewer fucks you give on what happens, like in that ring. And the definition of us versus them is obviously more us here and more them, further out. Can you talk a little bit about that perimeter and the thinking, behind that, and why you talked about that in your book?
Well, I think it's foundational to what men do in the world. Fundamentally, I mean, and this is, I went back into this again. It started in The Way of Men. There's a chapter called The Perimeter. And then, I revisited that in Fire in the Dark recently, because it has to do with men, what men do in every sense, is that, you go into an area in almost a military sense, and you establish a space, a safe space, not for your feelings or whatever, but, you secure a space and you take control of that space. And then everything outside of that space is beyond your control. Everything outside of that is chaotic. And what men really do is they create order in the midst of chaos, because the world is chaotic and they're trying to create a place of order. And so then, everything that's within your perimeter is everything that you really care about and you want to protect. And that's, everything outside of it is, them, like it's the unknown. And that's, I think, just a really important concept in terms of what men do in the world, is that we want to create order from chaos. And it happens at every level of things. As far as like other perimeters, like socially and things like that, like you were talking about, it's, obviously, yeah, you have your closest group of people, and it expands outward. And that I love the metaphor of, that's why I talk about Fire in the Dark. There's a metaphor of fire, and that's what we've always been around, is this campfire. And closest to the campfire, you can see things and you can understand things, and what's there and who's there, and everybody around it is important. And then it gets less and less light as it goes further out. And, I think in The Way of Men talked about perimeters in terms of socially, in terms of Dunbar's number, which you can only really care about like 150 people. And also if you look at like the military, when people interview the military, like the people in the guys like platoon or his, fire team or whatever, are the people who he will care about most. And then like, as you get to bigger units, they're like, that's just guys, that's just guys out there that are technically on our team. We keep people are tribal. So, the people who are closest into their tribe are the people that they care about most. And that's natural. And again, this is the way that humans operate. And we're told that it's not, that we're supposed to care about everything and everyone in the world, but we can't. We're like physically incapable of doing that. And as I think your reader just said, to say that you do, if you love everyone, you love no one. It cheapens the entire word. If you really care about someone, you care about them to the exclusion of others. They care about them more. Yeah,
actually, that kind of ties into the notion of the empire of nothing, right? Because they want you to care about this like empire, which is essentially nothing. Can you talk a little bit about the empire of nothing concept?
Yeah, I mean, I think the easiest way, a lot of your readers might be younger, but the never-ending story is a really good way. And I didn't think of this when I wrote it, but I've used it many times afterward. Is this idea that there's nothing really means anything.
The never-ending story was what was that? Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, or is that something else?
No, it's actually called a Never Ending Story movie,
Okay.
where they basically, and they actually fight nothing. Basically, it's a children's story.
Mm-hmm.
And, like basically it's the absence of dreams, and the absence of identity is coming, and it's kind of just destroying everything around it. And I think that that's what's happening with, globalism and like this monoculture
Mm-hmm.
that we have is that, all these things that were very intensely meaningful to people, they kind of want to take that away. And whether it's, religion or, racial groups or ethnic groups or like any of these things, they want to take that away and replace that with, well, we are the source of what you care about. Whatever's trending on Twitter is what you care about now. And so it's just there's no fixed point. And that's why I talk about it as being an empire of nothing. Like for like a Christian, like there's the Bible is like the fixed point. Like everything is less holy as you get out from there. And for any of us who have any kind of moral center, whatever that is, we have a very specific idea of what is right and wrong and what we care about. And as you get further and further away from that, things become more profane. And so the empire of nothing, I think, is just this idea that they're eroding culture on every level and identity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a this or I'm a that, where your identities are like in flux, and they're consumeristic identities. Like I buy things and I listen to this band and therefore I have an identity, rather than like I have this family that I'm tied to and this long lineage of people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just an erasure of culture is what I think about it, and replacing it with consumerism.
Hey guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that short clip. If you did, consider supporting the creation of content by checking out my supplement line. Pinned in the top comment below of this video in the comments, there's a link to the unpluggedalpha.com/shop. When you click through, you'll be able to land over here, and the entire lineup is broken down by category that it performs best in: estrogen metabolism, fat burning, your foundational essentials for health, immune health, performance, and testosterone support. If you check out with coupon code ALPHA10, you'll get 10% off on your first order. There's also the option to use the subscribe and save model, where regular shipments will be sent over to you on a regular basis, and that gives you a little bit of a discount, and your supplement facts are always broken down over here. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have an awesome day. And again, check out that link. It's pinned in the top comment below in this video. Peace out.